Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD, and on the 8 hour, you can see the last two 8 hour sessions has pretty much been nothing. We have tagged this level to the downside that I gave you yesterday, and that is 118.058. Look at the oscillators. Oscillators are starting to look very interesting for opportunities to buy into this. So a couple of things that we need to bear in mind. Firstly, we are back below the 155, and that for me is an indication of the trend. But at the same time, we've got a crossover, a golden cross of the moving averages, which is indicating a potential bullish move. So two conflicting signals there. Oscillators aren't done just yet, although the faster moving oscillator is looking to point up and cross over. If they cross over in this fashion here, expect a massive bounce to the upside. So we do have some data coming out later this afternoon, so pay careful attention to your charts. There is something brewing here as far as I'm concerned. So looking at the hour, we had a fairly strong move down and then just went sideways for the day. I'm kind of suspicious of what I'm seeing at the moment. So there is potential. I'm just going to move this level down, make it a bit more applicable to the hour. You could see that would be a half decent area to be selling off, 118.383, considering that we have moving averages crossovers at the moment. Oscillators are nowhere right now. So as far as I'm concerned, this is currently sideways. This level here is also going to be very interesting, 118.058. I don't suspect anything's going to happen until the data is out later this afternoon. So this is probably going to be sideways. So my advice for you on the dollar pairs is just wait for this afternoon. Wait for the US session before even looking for trades here. I suspect we're probably just going to range between these two levels up until data. If the data is a shocker, one way or another, expect a move, a pretty solid, violent move up or down. But conflicting signals at the moment on all time frames, so I will sit on hands there. US dollar, Japanese yen, nothing much has really changed. If you just look at that, that is sideways. The only difference is we do have a fairly decent crossover the moving averages, and they're all pointing up. But my oscillators are starting to group the upside, indicating I need to be paying attention to the levels. And I have a level right here. Just going to adjust that, probably there and there. So look to the left, that is the range. You probably more than likely would want to be selling off the top of the range. However, look at my oscillators. Oscillators are grouping to the downside, and we had a fairly strong move the day before. We've gone sideways. So just put your trend lines in here. This probably looks a little bit better than Euro USD. So that does look like a flag. And if that is a flag, and it's a flag break, we would then want to see a break of 110.400, and that would validate this measured move, which would take us up to there, which is 110.798. Okay, so, and that would be an indication of stronger dollar. So at the moment, it's still range bound, but it does look like there is potential to break this range the upside. That would be the first target. The next target would basically be the range height, which would be there, which is 111.172. Okay, so that's kind of the structure we see there. Is looking pretty promising. So pay attention to this today. I think this is really screaming at the moment to say potential. Next level to the downside that you need to pay attention to is also this area here, 110. So if we can come back and test the 110, it may actually be an opportunity to buy, and it's 400-point stop loss. So because my stop would be below these one of these swing lows here. Let's just call it a 500-point stop loss for 500 points. Yeah, 540-point stop loss for 700-point gain and 1,000-point gain. So fairly decent risk to reward there. Okay, British pound, Japanese yen. Lots of tails this week, and you can see we're trying to defend the 155. Pretty much failed going into the close yesterday, and then we've come back to test the moving averages. Got to cross over the moving averages, and at the same time oscillators are easing off. So for me, what I'm seeing is this So yes, we've got some levels in between, but that is pretty much what I'm seeing at the moment. So we have a fairly strong channel forming, coming back to test moving averages, breaks, and a level break, which is right here at 151,536. Now if we come back to the hour, which is what we want to trade, there is our range, or channel should I rather say. You can see fairly messy, but clearly a channel. So the question is, what is the next buying opportunity? Now, quite simple for me. Just you can see low, higher low, and then you've got a trend line forming. So a retest of this 151,536, and we start bouncing off that. That gives you a very good trade. I mean, that's 120 points, and you'll be looking for 295 because you're going to aim for the gap close first, and then possibly aim for this area at 151,944. So that's a half decent trade that is forming at the moment. Maybe you want to be paying attention to London breakout strategy here, but I suppose that's going to get you in pretty late for a very close target. So yeah, for me, so I think structure probably more than London breakout. Look for 151,536. If we drop below these lows of yesterday, bets are off. Then I would look for a retest of this for a short, and that would come down and test the bottom of this channel. Lastly, Euro British Pound. Euro British Pound. So long story short, should we say, we've been on this downward trend for so long. It's been this messy downtrend. We've had basically 2 weeks above the 155. We've got a complete crossover of all moving averages on the 8 hour at the moment. Oscillators are nowhere right now, but we are rejecting this top bit, and we are looking like we're finding support. As far as I'm concerned, this is still looking like a flat top triangle. There's my top of the triangle, here's my bottom. For as long as we defend this diagonal trend line, I'm looking to buy off it right now. So we do have a bit of a gap up, so I would expect us to move back down. And at the same time, on the hour, we've got sort of that structure there with that structure there. So we've got another little channel. Look at my oscillators there. So I would expect another move to the downside, probably into 0.85770, possibly a little bit lower down to 0.85700 area. But I suspect this diagonal trend line will hold, and that would be a buying opportunity off that. And then you're going to be looking for sort of 0.85945. What I don't like about this is the moving averages are flat. We're not pointing up or down. Oscillators oscillating everywhere. So at the moment, it's kind of sit on hands for me. I think there's a little bit more structure on US dollar, Japanese yen, and also even on British pound, Japanese yen. But Euro, British pound is a little bit all over the place right now. So that is sit on hands as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, that's it for me this morning on Forex. Hope it helps you somewhat, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.